I've been doing a bit of Christmas planning, so we know when to sort everything out around the house over the next few days. So I thought I'd share with you some of the things we're going to be getting up to, and might give you some ideas of things you might have forgotten as well. So I'm probably going to add to this some more. I'm sure there's things I've forgotten, but this is at least my sort of start of a plan, so I don't forget to do stuff. So this plan starts on Friday. We've got a few things to do around the house ready for Christmas Day. So Friday, as some of you might know, we don't generally use a freezer in our house. We don't have any frozen foods. You might have seen in our hauls, we don't buy frozen food or keep that sort of thing in. We do have a freezer from our old house. We used to use a freezer in our old house, but when we moved here we stopped. So that is in the garage, so I'm going to get that out and plug it in. We sort of sometimes do this at Christmas when we've got people coming round, when you need more space. It is a fridge freezer, so we're going to put all of our Christmas food in there, so it's separate from our main sort of week shopping. So on Friday I need to get that out of the garage, clean it off, and plug it in, so it's got a day or so to cool down before we get our shopping and freeze. So I need to unbury that out of the garage and plug that in on Friday. So that's quite a fairly big job, probably going to take me half an hour or so. We've got a few more decorations to put up around the house. We've got a lot up, but we're still making things like paper chains and putting balloons up and that kind of thing. And I've got a few more. I've got quite a lot of the foliage I collected left, some of the pine tree branches and some of the holly. So I'm thinking of doing some more little sort of hand-tied decorations on the stairs, and maybe some in the dining room as well. So yeah, so Friday's the day for putting the sort of final Christmas decorations up, getting the freezer ready, doing all the sort of bits and pieces like that. Saturday we have our Christmas shopping delivery, so we're getting it delivered by Ocado. We booked that quite a few months ago, I think, certainly quite a few weeks ago, to get a spot so close to Christmas. So yeah, so we've got our Christmas shopping delivery. We've got the food for the Saturday, the Sunday, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and a couple of days after that. So it will see us through, so we don't need to go food shopping during that time when it'll be really busy. A couple of years ago we did go shopping in a supermarket for Christmas Day, and I think that has put us off ever shopping that close to Christmas again. It was we had about an hour's queue just to pay. So yeah, so we always get it delivered now. So yeah, that's coming. We'll put that away. As I said, we'll put a lot of that in the garage, in the fridge freezer. We've got things, couple of frozen bits, sort of party food kind of things, and some ice cream, and then the rest of the sort of vegetables and things for Christmas Day can go in the fridge in the garage, so it's all nice and separate. I know where everything is. On the Sunday, so that is Christmas Eve, I need to pop back in the garage and get out our dining table. We've actually changed our dining table about a year ago. We did have a sort of large round table, but it took up all of the sort of space, and we didn't need that bigger table most of the time. So what we did is sold that and bought two rectangle tables that fold down into squares. So if you can imagine, there's a table that probably sits for 8 people, I think, when it's out unfolded, but then it folds in half, so the 3 of us can sit around it nicely. Doesn't take up loads of room, and we can do other stuff in the dining room. So we've got 2 of those tables, so they make up a big square. So I need to get one of those out of the garage, the other one we use all the time, and I need to put the legs on it and put that up in the dining room. Now, we've never actually tried having the 2 tables as a square in our dining room yet, because we've never had that many people around. So hopefully it's going to fit. I'm pretty sure it will. I did measure it all when we bought them. So yeah, a bit of an experiment, but I'm sure it will be okay. So I just need to get that out, put that up in the dining room, put some things away. We have a sofa in the dining room that I will move out and put up the other end of our kitchen in front of our big cupboard that we don't really use at the moment. It's just sort of full of boxes and things. So that, so I'll move that sofa, tidy up the dining room, put the other table up, put the tablecloths on, that sort of thing, and then tidy up some of the rest of the house, ready for the big day, Christmas Day. Put some things away so we've got more space for presents and activities, games and things. Yeah, so that leaves us with Christmas Day. We have in total 9 people in the house Christmas Day. My family is coming around, my brother, sister, their partners, husbands, wife, are coming around, so and my mum and dad. So with the 3 of us, that makes 9. So that's the reason for the big table. So we will start the day ourselves, get up, just sort of go with the flow, really, see what happens, open our presents, that sort of stuff, have some breakfast at some point, and then once that's done, and sort of during that, probably, I've got my little list, a rough list really, of times to put food in the cooker on the hob, and prepare things, just so I don't forget when I need to prepare some of the food. So as a sort of rough guide, I'm going to cook the potatoes first and then put them into the warming tray, so that they can stay in there nice and warm. That way they can have the oven to themselves. It's not a huge oven, and for 9 people obviously it's quite a lot of food. So it'll probably be over 2 of my big oven dishes. It's nice to give it lots of space so they cook well. So I'm going to peel them, cut them, put them on boil for 10 minutes or so, and then put them in the oven at about 11 o'clock in the morning, and they can stay in there for about an hour while they roast. And while that's on, at some point I will set the final bits of the table, so the cutlery, plates, crackers, all that sort of stuff. Get that ready, and then at 12, everyone's coming around at around 12. So we thought we'd have about an hour of sort of saying hello, getting everyone in, all that sort of stuff. And while that's happening, I'm going to put the carrots and parsnips in the oven. Half an hour after that, so about 12:30, I'll put my Yorkshire puddings in and the stuffing on. I've just remembered something else I didn't write on my list. I also need to put we've got some vegan sausages to go with our dinner, so they will go in at about 12:30 as well, so I'll write that on in a moment. Then 12:40, put on the sort of veg on the hob, so we've got broccoli, Brussels, cauliflower, and just after I've done that, I'll start preparing the starters. That won't take very long to do, so just get that ready. 12:50ish, make some gravy, so that could be ready on the table and ready to sit down for 1 with our starters. So sit down about 1, eat our starters. I mean, these are very rough times. Once we've had our starters, I'm going to put the Christmas pudding on to steam. So I'll put that on, and that can just sit there warming while we eat our dinner. So we'll eat dinner, probably about 1:45. We'll have our dessert. I'll put in different people. Some people don't like the Christmas pudding. Some will have that. We'll probably have custard with it. We've got some of the dairy-free custard to go with it. And we'll just sort of see what happens then. In Britain, in England, the Queen always has a speech on TV at 3 o'clock. Basically everyone in the country watches, I think, of some sort. so we'll probably watch that. It's kind of traditional. We've got some games to play, and then later on, sort of 5:30ish, 6, we'll prepare. We sort of have a buffet kind of tea. So we've got some sort of crackers, picky bits, little vegan sausage rolls, that sort of thing. Got some vegan cheese. I've got some cranberry Wensleydale dairy-free cheese from Tesco that I'm going to try. A lot of people have said it's good. So we've got things like that. So we'll serve that, and then after that, sort of play games, watch a film, Christmas film maybe. Just sort of see what everyone wants to do. If everyone wants to go home or fall asleep, whatever. Have a good time, see what little one does. If she goes to bed, falls asleep, stays up all night, who knows. So that's my sort of rough plan. I'm going to continue to add to it over the next couple of days. Probably scrub things out, change it. But right now that's my plan. At least I know I've got most of the things on there, so I don't forget. Hope that's useful. Hope you enjoy seeing that. And I hope you're having a lovely Christmas.